Amy Duggan was born on October 31st, 1873, in Milton, Connecticut, to parents James Duggan and Mary Kennedy. She was the eighth of 10 children in her family. Her educational journey led her to attend both the Milton School and the New Britain Normal School in 1890. In 1897, Amy Duggan married James Archer, and in December of that same year, they welcomed their daughter, Mary J. Archer. In 1901, the Archers took on a new role as caretakers for John Seymour, an elderly widower. They relocated to Seymour's residence in Newington, Connecticut, and when he passed away in 1904, his heirs transformed the house into a boarding facility for the elderly. The Archers continued to provide care for the elderly residents in exchange for rent from Seymour's family. Their establishment came to be known as Sister Amy's Nursing Home for the Elderly. In 1907, Seymour's heirs decided to sell the property, prompting the Archers to move to Windsor, Connecticut. They utilized their savings to purchase a residence on Prospect Street in Windsor Center, which they subsequently converted into the Archer Home for the Elderly and Infirm. Tragically, James Archer passed away in 1910, reportedly due to natural causes attributed to Bright's disease, a term encompassing various kidney diseases. Interestingly, Amy Archer had recently taken out an insurance policy on her husband shortly before his demise. The insurance policy payout provided her with the means to continue operating Archer Home. In 1913, Amy entered into marriage with Michael W. Gilligan, a widower with 4 adult sons who was reputedly wealthy and expressed an interest in both Amy and investing in the Archer Home. However, just 3 months into their marriage, on February 20th, 1914, Michael passed away. His official cause of death was noted as an acute bilious attack, essentially severe indigestion. Amy once again found herself in a secure financial position, as her new husband had crafted a will during their brief marriage, leaving his entire estate to her. However, it was later revealed that the will was a forgery, as it appeared to be written in Amy Archer Gilligan's own handwriting. Between the years 1907 and 1917, a total of 60 deaths occurred within the walls of the Archer Home, a number that began to raise suspicions among relatives of the residents. The timeline of these deaths was particularly alarming. From 1907 to 1910, only 12 residents passed away, but this number sharply increased to 48 between 1911 and 1916. Among the deceased was Franklin R. Andrews, a seemingly healthy man. On May 29, 1914, Andrews was actively engaged in gardening on the Archer premises. Remarkably, his robust health deteriorated within a single day, leading to his demise by evening. Officially, the cause of death was attributed to a gastric ulcer. As Andrew's siblings, including Nellie Pierce, began to sift through his letters, they noticed instances where Amy Archer Gilligan had been aggressively seeking financial assistance from their brother. This pattern emerged among Amy's clients, who often met their end shortly after providing her with significant sums of money. Growing increasingly concerned, Nellie Pierce reported her suspicions to the local district attorney, although her concerns were initially met with indifference. Undeterred, she decided to share her story with the Hartford Courant, resulting in the publication of the first of several articles on the Murder Factory on May 9, 1916. Several months later, the police commenced a thorough investigation into the matter, a process that spanned almost a year. During the course of the investigation, the bodies of Gilligan, Andrews, and 3 other boarders were exhumed, revealing that all 5 had succumbed to poisoning, either from arsenic or strychnine. Local merchants were able to provide testimony confirming Amy's substantial purchase of arsenic, ostensibly for rat control. Further scrutiny of Gilligan's will exposed it as a forgery attributed to Amy's hand. M. William Phelps, author of The Devil's Rooming House, noted that the investigation initially pointed towards Amy procuring arsenic for rodent extermination purposes, but it became evident that she had not been the sole purchaser of the arsenic responsible for her patients' deaths. Some of the patients and even a doctor had authorized its acquisition. Dr. King briefly came under suspicion due to accumulating evidence, but attention eventually returned to Amy when someone suggested a comprehensive examination of all records pertaining to arsenic purchases. With the discovery of evidence indicating Amy's involvement in sending her patients to buy arsenic from drugstores, the police had sufficient grounds to apprehend and subsequently convict her. Archer Gilligan faced arrest and stood trial for murder, initially charged with 5 counts of this grave offense. However, her legal counsel succeeded in reducing the charges to a single count, specifically for the murder of Franklin R. Andrews. The fateful verdict arrived on June 18, 1917, when a jury pronounced her guilty, leading to her subsequent death sentence. In a turn of events, Archer Gilligan pursued an appeal which bore fruit in 1919, granting her a new trial. During this trial, she entered a plea of insanity, and her daughter Mary Archer took the stand to testify that her mother was grappling with a morphine addiction. Despite these new developments, Archer Gilligan was once again found guilty of murder, but this time her punishment was a life sentence behind bars.